Sports Talk 790. Let's spend 10 quality minutes with the head football coach of your team, my team, America's college football team, the Houston Cougars, winning over UTSA on Saturday. The Bayou Bucket up for grabs this Saturday at Rice Stadium. Dana Holgorsen with us here on the show. Dana, what was your best joke at the Bayou Bucket luncheon today?
When they asked if we could do a Q&A, I was like, only if you like yes or no answers. I was late to practice, so I had to hurry up. It was running a little late based on a food mix-up. So we both talked, me and Coach Bloomgren, and then we left because we had to go to practice.
I've heard of excuses before, but that's an all-timer, my friend. I don't know what you're pulling over there, but it ain't the truth. There can't be the truth. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, congratulations. The uniforms were unbelievable. The guys looked like they had a good time. The great vibe in the building last Saturday. And as expected, a game that went down the last couple of minutes with UTSA.
Yeah, it was a good vibe, wasn't it? It's going on my... Oh, geez, what am I here now? 5 plus the 2 before. So going on my 7th year and being, here at the University of Houston, that's the best it's felt. It just felt really good. And I've said that a few times just as far as, our fan day felt good. The preseason felt good. The responses have felt good. And the game felt good, So we had a great turnout, The fan base was awesome. The student section was awesome. We had a couple hundred recruits in town, and then the game felt good. Our players were excited. They hit the field running for a pregame and was pumped up, jacked up, ready to go. And then we played pretty good as well. That's a good football team. UTSA has won 23 games in 2 years. There's a reason why they were favored in that game. And so we had to play good in order to win, and at the end of the day for a game one, I was really, really, really excited about how it turned out.
How did you handle the weather, the heat? Obviously, is going to be a factor for everybody playing in this part of the world. And do you learn from anything that you went through last week? I know you went through a bunch of players in that game.
Yeah, it was a non-issue. I mean, a couple of kids started cramping up. I thought we spread the reps around pretty good, other than offensive line. That's the one group that we really didn't rotate anybody, that quarterback, obviously, but everybody else rotated. The entire defense did, other than Malik Fleming, which I'm sure you're going to want to talk about
sure.
him.
Mm-hmm.
He played a lot of snaps. He started cramping up towards the end, but we rolled receivers, we rolled tight ends, we rolled running backs, and so it was fine. We've been practicing in this heat. You don't live in Houston or go to the University of Houston and not be prepared for this. So our practice acclimatized us to it. We were smart in pregame with it, and it didn't affect us at all.
How long do you think it took for Donovan to kind of get comfortable? And granted, he's been with you guys for a while and been working out and practicing and whatnot, but the game days are certainly different when you're calling the signals for your first game for your new team. Did you sense any sort of nervousness or just normal first game jitters?
No, there was some jitters there. There was first game stuff. This means a lot to him. He made an executive decision to leave Texas Tech and come here. He played in a lot of games there, 21 games, 750 snaps or something. But new team, new vibe. Wanted to make a good new impression, and I would certainly hope people think he did. He left some stuff out there, but. I think he settled down towards the end of the second quarter. When we did that 2-minute drive, I thought he handled that great and looked good. I never felt nervousness. I never saw nervousness. He's a pretty cool customer out there, but he played pretty conservative, and we're going to have to work out of that a little bit as an offense and him. We're going to be in some games that we're going to have to score more points than we did, and we know that, and we're going to work hard on improving that offensively and so see.
You mentioned Malik Fleming, huge game for you, first game coming out of East Carolina. Is he a wonder? Good spot for what transfer portal's all about. Guy gets a chance to finish up his career somewhere else, try something different, because it felt like to me, and again, I've not been privy to a lot of your practices, but that's a guy that you didn't have to do a whole lot of teaching when you came on campus.
No, he falls in more the grad transfer category than the transfer portal category. I mean, they've had grad transfers for quite some time, and we've had some success, getting some guys like that. The transfer portal thing is more more young kids, like Sam Brown, who is a transfer portal kid, needed a fresh start. And, going into his second year is good. Joseph Manjack falls into that category, Stephon Johnson. But Malik was a 4-year starter there, got his degree. That clock kind of ticks, and when it's up, it's up. And he felt like it was up. Had a good relationship with Doug Belk, Jace Rogers, Valdosta connection. I went up to him for 2 straight years, shook his hand, said, "Man, dude, you're a hell of a player." And he remembered that and contacted us, watched and saw what we did with Marcus Jones, with Jace Rogers, and says, "I can be that guy." And he came here, and he certainly made a first good impression with everybody across college football with 2 picks and a huge punt return.
Before I let you run, as you get back on the practice field, a thought or two about the Rice Owls. Hung with Texas for a while, but some turnovers and just not moving the ball was their Achilles heel in that game Saturday in Austin.
Yeah, it was hot, and they kind of got wore out there in Austin by some bigger bodies and stuff. We're expecting Rice's best. We know that. They played us tough last year. They played us tough 2 years ago for a half. And so, this is a bucket game. It's a trophy game. It's across town. Means a lot to a lot of people. Who knows when this game is going to be played again with conference realignment? It makes it challenging. So we need to enjoy the last one for a little while. Who knows when the next one's going to be? We'll get their best shot. They're well coached. They're hard nosed. They're tricky They're tricky on all 3 sides of the ball with how much they do. Mad respect to their coaches and their players for being able to handle that. Makes it hard to prepare for. And it's going to be hard to play against them based on the fact that they're going to want this one pretty bad. So are we.
When you look at JT Daniels, are you spending a lot of time looking at the tape, or do you spend some time looking at him when he was at West Virginia?
No, it's more about the offense. They had a guy that could throw that thing last year. When I watched that guy watch last year's video, their quarterback they had last year, which left to go to Marshall, he threw that thing really good. So what they do is what they do. And we got to be more worried about the scheme. He's not a runaround guy, so he's a pocket guy. Certainly he's got a live arm. Everybody in the country's known of him for 5 years now. And so the arm is live, but what they do offensively, we need to be disciplined with how we play defense.
Thanks for carving some time with us, my friend. I appreciate it. Good luck Saturday.
Thank you, Matt. Go Cougs.
All right, buddy. That's Dana Holgorsen with us here on the Matt Thomas Show, brought to you by our good friends at the Joint Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of the University of Houston. That'll be a 6 o'clock start, and the game is so big it's on the NFL Network. It's that big of a contest that they said, you know what? You don't want to be around anything else. You don't want to be one of the 14 ESPN games or one of the 9 CBS games. You're the marquee matchup. You're on the NFL Network because there's going to be full of NFL players in that game, future NFL players.
Yes. I believe it's a Football Life Tom Landry, and then it'll be the U of H game, and then it'll be a replay of the 1981 Super Bowl. So looking forward to that on NFL Network. That's
who played in that game?
1981, I have no idea. Hold on, wait. Niners?
And?
Is that the year they crushed the Bengals? Dang. Did I get it?
All right, so now for $10,000 extra, where was the game played?
Oh, Palo Alto.
No, you're not. That was a couple years later. They played at the Pontiac Silverdome in Pontiac, where the Lions used to play. You got the Niners and the Bengals right? That makes me sad.
Why?
It just does. You know who the NFC Championship game was? Who the Niners beat?
No, I don't.
It was the Dallas Cowboys in the game where a certain tight end, the catch.
Okay. What was that guy's name? Gary Wright?
Dwight Clark.
Oh, Dwight Clark. Same thing.
Is Gary Wright, believe it or not, today?
I guess.
What have you been doing when I was talking to Dana?
I was writing questions, and I'm like, man, there is nothing interesting on Gary Wright. Here's a little tip for you folks. When there's not a lot interesting on somebody, I make a lot of stuff up.
Oh, you're giving a tip. I hate when you give the tips. Let's go to Randall, Southeast Houston, on the Matt Thomas Show at 2:10. Randall, thank you for holding. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, my favorite Astro was Mike Scott because as a kid, a teenager, I used to love the way that split finger fastball would drop. And I mean, it was out of sight. And not only that, my favorite player is Pete Rose. I know a lot of people that have something to say about that, but hey, Can't change that. Pete Rose is my favorite player, and I hope one day he get into the Hall of Fame while he's living. And Houston Astros, I mean, hey, they're on their way, and it's that time. So I'd rather for them to start gelling now. And great show.
Thank you, Randall. Nice hearing from you.
Yes.
I used to be in the Pete Rose, in the Hall of Fame. Pete's never getting in. Never, ever, ever getting in.
But now when you watch a World Series broadcast, DraftKings FanDuel Sportsbook stuff pops up in the middle of an at-bat. You think Pete's sitting at home on his couch like, hey, come on. Are you serious?
We had,
but there was a cardinal rule, a cardinal sin, and he committed it.
and it's still a sin technically.
Yes,
not technically, it is a sin. You cannot bet on baseball.
Ask the Detroit Lions how they're doing the first few weeks of the season with all the suspensions they've got.
Yeah, but they're so weak. They promote gambling like openly. Like,
yeah,
hey, I like the Lions +6 against the Chiefs. By the way, Travis Kelce questionable for the game tomorrow.
Yes,
we'll have Dr. Roto give us an update on that tomorrow between 1:30 and 2.
Wonderful.
Tomorrow, also, by the way, we'll be making our NFL predictions.
Yes,
because Friday I'm out.
You are?
Yeah. Got a little small eye procedure. No big deal.
Everything all right?
Look, I'm going to be great.
How many fingers am I holding up?
Yeah, you always hold the same one up every single time when you see me. It's
I'm
really
just
rude.
asking you a question. I'm just testing your eyesight.
Terrible. So we'll make our NFL predictions, and we'll also have a brand new feature from Galveston Bay Brewing, the 6-pack of picks, where you and I will each pick 3 games. And
let's go.
We'll just kind of keep track of how we do.
Man, we don't have to keep track. We just pretend like we'll act like we're one of these handicappers, and we'll say we went 3-0.
And well, the lock of the week. We can do it in an accent like that if you want to. It's our 15-star selection.
Should we do this for 10 straight minutes? I think we'll get a lot of listeners.
I got a lot of experience. My staff's been coming through the numbers.
I got the advanced algorithms. I got your advanced algorithm right here.
I got your sources here that not even the people at the network have for sources.
And we'll have Dr. Roto fully break down my matchup versus the Houston Toros this
I don't
weekend.
like the Toros' chances at all.
It's 51-49.
I'm like Colorado going against TCU this week, and you're TCU.
Wait a minute. No, you're saying you got a chance.